Day 4 of First Stand was about as high octane as it gets. Even gods can bleed. Drama abounded, with playoffs contention hanging in the balance. CFO out-team fought Team Liquid in a 2-0 victory, while HLE clashed with KC and... You know what? I'm not even going to spoil it. We'll get to that later. Hey, I'm Initialize. Let's dive in. Liquid kicked off the day's proceedings with a dive comp. Vi alongside Talia, Kai'Sa and Rakan. They also got Impact a counterpick Gwen into Rest's Cassante. Unfortunately, that counterpick really didn't work out as they were hoping, mainly because TL fumbled a dive against CFO's Cassante real hard. Still, things were stable in the mid game, and the gold was a few hundred apart at most. Honestly, that favoured Flying Oysters, who had rounded out their comp with Shinsao and Azir for more frontlining and brawling alongside that Cassante, and then Azir and Ezreal as long-range, high-agency damage dealers. So you know, a classic CFO teamfight comp.
Something. Doggo tries to follow it up. First Mystic Shot gets blocked by a chicken. Yawn and Umpty still need to run away from this one, I would have to think. Doggo trying to fire him into Yawn, but it's Umpty caught. He's ready to ride away. Core JJ with the grand exit, but it's not grand enough. APA needs to keep on kiting, but CFO wants to keep fighting.
When CFO finally started Baron, Liquid were anemic in the contest, with health bars looking dicey at best. One snazzy purple buff later, and it was easy to close for CFO.
From CFO, the first Nexus turret is already down, and Kaiwing on the front line has no intention of joining it. Umpty's gonna fall yet again. Another shuffle guarantees an ace for CFO, and they'll take game 1.
Game 2 saw some more life out of Team Liquid, but I had some issues with the draft. Umpty was on Sejuani duty, Jax was a great side lane threat and melee pairing with that Sej, as piloted by Impact, and then you had Corki, Ziggs and Poppy to round out the comp, kind of. It felt a little like two different comps mashed together. One part melee skirmishes, the other part burst follow-up to lockdown, but with neither part that well set up for success. Even odder, APA wasn't given his signature Ziggs. It was Yawn, a player who has done fantastic work when given champs with higher agency, which isn't really Ziggs. On the other hand, CFO, chef's kiss from me. Maokai Leona set up mid lane Yone for the easiest ults of his life. A Yone that was being hidden by picking a Tristana early and faking that as the mid pick instead. The real masterstroke was the Luke Skywalker pick though. Red 5 was indeed standing by for the subbed in driver to lock in Gangplank. Such a nice pick here. The ultimate syncs up so well as both a disengage tool and as another ult to layer on top of the Maokai Leona CC combo. You even have an orange to cleanse away pesky Sejuani ultimates and counter-strikes. Despite all that though, Liquid kicked off the game well. The problem is that Liquid couldn't hold on to the lead as individual players kept overstepping. Impact got humbled quick by Driver for exactly that top lane when he contested a wave he really shouldn't have, and the GP only got scarier from there. The game swung fully into the hands of the Flying Oysters when Team Liquid overchased for Honkyu and his team successfully defend him, turning into a 5-for-1 exchange plus Atakan.
Core and Umpty coming in to try to stop him, but Honkyu knows if he kills the Corki, none of the other two can kill him instead. A lot of CC done to Honkyu. He critically gets away just in time, and Junjin's already killed APA. Core is trying to eject the enemy players, but it's a little bit too late. Finally, a kill back on Honkyu comes out from Yawn, but Umpty is gunned down by Doggo. Core trying to get away from Kaiwing and Driver, but Doggo's ready to back him up. Impact jumps in after the enemy AD carry, but he jumps only to his own demise. Another bullet might just take him down, as Junjin's gonna cut off Yawn, and Team Liquid absolutely falls to pieces.
Ouch! History repeated itself when Liquid came to fight around Dragon just after, and the team fighting skill of CFO left Liquid in a shallow grave. Doggo especially got to shine in this fight, getting reset after reset to clean up the low HP bars of the NA representatives.
Ulti from the Sejuani, but it's not going to get a whole lot more. Impact continuing the chase. Driver has no oranges. Honkyu trying to escape. Driver's going to get gunned down. And now, can they turn anything else around? Impact's next to die, and Core tackles it on top of Junja. Now he's got to be careful about his own health bar as Umpty charges forward, but where's the backup? Doggo fires back. APA's got a ton of health, but where's the rest of the backup for him? Now another re-engage coming out from Honkyu and Kaiwing, and they're going to take out APA. Doggo's ready to grab more. He takes down two. Umpty's left to die next. Doggo just destroyed him! Team Liquid, whether they're short by an inch or short by a mile, they are coming up short as another Maokai ulti flies in. Another death for APA. Another march down mid for CFO. And this game might be closer to the end of the tier 3 bottom. APA can't do a lot to defend. And now it's Umpty caught out, burst down before anything else even happens. CFO about to be treated the same. CFO looking to just end the game here. Doggo jumping forward, completely unafraid, has the lifesteal to trade and heal right back up. He wants to keep going in, may have gone a little bit too far. Shut down over to Impact, and CFO are about to close this game. APA collapsed on with a twisted advance. He's dead before he fires a shot. Core, Umpty, and Impact all scatter as the Mega Inferno Bomb hits Doggo. But again, it's not enough. Umpty's gonna die to the explosive charge. Impact locked up by Junja, Kaiwing, and Driver. He'll fight for a second, but he's not getting away from this one. The stasis won't save him. CFO getting it done, and getting it done clean. Core's the only man alive, and what is...
That sealed the deal, and it was the death knell for the game and series. CFO now sit 2-1 at first stand, while Liquid languish at a 1-2 scoreline. Never mind that though, let's talk HLE versus KC. KC sparked EU's guttering hopes yesterday when they beat TES, but could they do the seemingly impossible and take down the undefeated HLE? Could they make gods bleed? It seemed to be kind unlikely. Game 1 though, KC certainly didn't go down quietly. HLE had once again drafted a Vicomp, this time with an Aurora top for Zeus and Zeka's legendary Silas. Viper was piloting a Poke Varus, and Delight was on Poppy to complete the nasty dive and follow-up comp. KC though were ready to fight fire with fire. Rumble, Talia, and Ezreal have a seriously impressive threat range with their ultimates, able to collapse and support Yike Shinsao and Targamas Leona on very short notice, a necessity when you see what HLE is running.
Tag him with a weirding. A teleport showing up as HLE getting back away. Delight in some danger. Gonna get cooked up by Kana as Peanut heads all the way out of town. Ballbreaker ready to charge up, go right back in against him, but Vladdy has arrived here with the Weaver's Wall. Kana still in danger. Flash in, coming out from Zeus. Another TP is about to arrive. Very low HP on Peanut, but the beat of war. Both hanging around in the tri-brush here as Yike wanted to check and see. Immediately ejected though, and Delight flashes forward, ready to slam flat.
The key for me was seeing KC play with confidence. They weren't intimidated by HLE and were ready to throw down. Not of course that HLE took anything like down. Zeka in particular was unleashed on the Silas, consistently getting into the backline in lethal scenarios and pulling multiple KC members over to him in a side lane. Zeus too just kept finding massive Aurora ultimates. The sticking point for KC ended up being around objectives. KC, despite some great fights, could not secure the mid-game neutrals they needed, while HLE absolutely could.
LE, now some more trouble for KC as Yike once again, you said it, Bettius. Delight has a bead drawn on this guy, and there's the kill going over to Zeus as Kana keeps retreating. Zeus tags him with a weirding. Target
Yike, a poor place to back. Kalist now
Kalist not where he wants to be either, and again until the Drake spawns. Zek with the abscond duck, jumping in right on top of Vladdy, hits him with the chains. Vladdy with a flash out, Zeka with a flash in, a little bit more damage required. Stasis from Vladdy ain't gonna do a damn thing, and Zeka puts him in the ground. But the follow-up from KC, Targamas wants to try to stop the recall, at least get something from the HLE mid laner, but Zeka's not gonna stand for that. He wants to stay and fight because he knows the rest of KC is coming to try to stop him. The abscond abduct
results in the kill, and now KC looking for a bit of a fight.
Yeah, they dive in on top of Peanut, do a ton of damage, but not enough to kill him just yet. He'll finally burn down. There to Kana on the Rumble. Viper forced to flash back over the Wild Belt 2 as a slam into the wall. Delight's going in after Yike, but he can't quite find him. HLE losing men left, right, and center. KC, ding, we got a winner.
Zeka and Zeus that are still alive. The TP gonna have to come through from Kana as he quickly goes back to base.
Oh, there goes your bear. But that's what you gotta go for. Kana trying to take his own red buff. Peanut immediately ready to jump in, goes for the ball breaker. Yike, Targamas, and Vladdy. KC stepping up. They don't want to allow their opponents to take this for free. Delight misses the ulti. That could be huge. Zeus jumps in. Yike here from the front line. Low health bars on HLE. Into the back line goes Zeka. He wants to kill Nicholas. He needs a little bit more damage to fight, and he finally got the shutdown. The Ezreal's dead. Leona joins them. HLE got 2, and they aren't done yet. Peanut continuing the chase after Yike. Sinjel does not have a lot of defensive mechanisms to get away from this one. Peanut with the smite to slow him down. And this kill is going to be desynced critically from the rest. Zeka stealing Kana's ultimate, jumping in on top of him. Kana with the stasis.
From Yike.
After a failed pick onto Zeka top lane leaves KC split up on the chase, HLE turn it around. The hijacked Shin ult by Zeka buys so much time for his team to collapse. The fight ends them Baron, and finally the game. But sheesh, not exactly day 2 KC here, folks.
KC scatter! There is no way to stop the HLE war machine. 8,000 gold lead now for HLE. Zeus goes between worlds. Vladdy's gonna get caught. Weirding isn't enough to kill him, but he's forced to go gold, and Peanut ready to jump back in with a ball breaker. Mistimes it, but it don't matter. Zeus unstoppable as HLE take the first inhibitor in the bottom lane. Now they'll put their attention in mid, looking for the second. Another Chains of Corruption flies out, does not connect. KC scrambling to defend 4 versus 5. Vladdy's still dead for another 40 seconds. KC making their entry, trying to stop this, trying to hold HLE off. Peanut's burning low, but Zeus has already grabbed another kill. It'll be a 1-for-1 at least, as Kana and Kalist need more firepower. Yike buying a little bit of time here on the front line as Delight jumps in and trades his life for Yike. Vladdy's still got 20 seconds left before he respawns, and Zeus grabs a double kill. Kalist falls.
Game 1, KC got close to finally drawing blood against Hanwha Life Esports. Game 2, they actually did it. HLE went for a pretty straightforward double ADC comp in a Corki Ashe, backed up by a Maokai, which Peanut has an insane win rate on by the by, and a Renata. Zeus went for the Gnar for side lane push and a solid flanking threat to round things out. KC, on the other hand, get in the kitchen. Yike went for his Ivern, one of the most deceptively hard scaling champs in the game. Alongside it, Vladdy and Kalist were piloting Azir and Jhin, 2 champs with significant range and solid CC options too, and then Ambessa and Alistair were to play dive buddies to round out the comp. It was certainly not the most elegant draft, or really standard, but it did have an incredible amount of both scaling and an ability to keep going forwards and threatening with CC and follow-up. Ivern could hit a root caller, which would bring an Alistair and Ambessa into melee range for free. Azir and Jhin could then open up from miles away and continue the lockdown. There was a fair amount of pick to work with there. And that proved incredibly influential in a game that finally saw HLE lose. It was hard, grueling work. At one point, KC were down 3 inhibitors, Seoul, and a Nexus turret. Still, Karmine Core held on. I'll let the gameplay speak for itself.
1-for-1 here with the supports. Viper still running. Kalist with a flash in. Viper shut down. Zeka shut down. KC!
Maokai ultimate comes through. They have easy follow-up thanks to the Jhin. Targamas acting as that front line. Looking to connect the stun.
Yeah, Delight and Viper moving forward. Viper going in after Kalist. Needs more damage to kill the Jhin, and he takes him out. Now Targamas is going to be your next target as Yike is about to die to Peanut and Zeka at the same time. KC, trying to brute force this down, but they can't do it. Now back underneath the tier 2 turret here in the bottom lane. A 1 over the Otacon pit. Zeus not around here anywhere. Targamas jumping in, immediately followed up. Delight is already down before he can do anything at all. KC are going in. The Maokai ult for the escape route for the rest of HLE. KC with a killer instinct. Jump in there and make it happen. Now they're going after the Otacon itself, but Zeus has arrived to the fight, and the Gnar bars charged. KC still trying to commit to the objective. The Scuttlecraft's taking the damage a little bit, but now KC, they're about to drop. Zeus into the middle of the fight, but he's not ready to transform just yet. The first kill on a Targamas. Now the Otacon, the target for HLE. KC still hanging around, trying to see if they might be able to contest. Yike here on the front line, wants to smite fight. Viper's all alone, he's gonna be careful, but Kana's got no ulti. Zeus into the back, finds the wall, he's gonna be shut down by Kalist, but Viper and Peanut are going forward. It's so many kills for Viper, there's no hope! Keep that in mind, this is huge for these team fights. If Zeus jumps in, he's just gonna be tiny. HLE going after the Drake. It is secured by Viper on the Ashe. Yike having to run away, but a big engage coming out from Vladdy. They've managed to take down Viper. Vladdy's cutting it out. Zeus is already dead now too. HLE are scattering, and only Zeka's left alive to deal damage. Yes, the Ocean Soul went the way of the Korean team, but it looks like KC might have just found exactly what they needed. Another triple kill. It's been what's keeping KC in this game. Now, a lot of damage onto Delight. The curtain call opens. KC trying to get themselves away, but now the potential punish right back onto Vladdy. He's in some danger as the damage pours out, and Vladdy's first to die. Zeka goes on a killing spree. There's no way out for Targamas.
Immediately, all of the wind is taken out of the sails. It's Hanwha Life on the push.
Kalist has to be so careful here, but Kana doing a great job. Jumps into the wall to punish.
The Baron power play is still 2.6k in KC's favor.
Red Bull Baron power play about to run out here. Only 15 more seconds until it expires. Arrow from a long way away. Not going to get a whole lot of value out of that one. Zeus in some danger off to the side as he scraps with Kana. Targamas forced to use the Unbreakable Will now. Knocking Peanut right back into the team. HLE is going to go ahead and lose their jungler. Kalist is dominating, but Vladdy is down, and they've also lost Targamas. Kana's the next target, flashing away, trying to survive. Elder Dragon down to 8,000. HLE ready to challenge. Arrow flies out. Damage onto Targamas here at the start. He's frontlining for now. A lot of damage on the Peanut. Public execution flies in. KC's already found the first kill. But what about the objective? The Dragon secured by Yike. A massive three-man shuffle from Vladdy. KC are getting it done. They find two, and they want to get another. Viper with a sidestep as Zeus interrupts Kalist, and Zeka flies in, but it's not enough. The Elder is making the difference. Zeus finally gets the shutdown.
The KC were going to win out there. Zeus.
Oh, nice jump in from Kana yet again. The public execution finding the target. Follow up with a deadly flourish. Zeus trying to get away here. The redemption ready to heal him up. Zeus goes mega just in time. Zeka jumping in to protect his top laner. KC don't have the damage, and they threw the kitchen sink at him. Now everybody wearing blue is stuck in the mid lane. Meanwhile, their base is being torn to shreds. HLE looking to push Nexus. It's Viper and Delight. Zeus has made the TP in as well. Vladdy immediately teleporting back to try to save the game.
Acts as a wall that KC have to break through.
Targamas with a very early Unbreakable Will. He goes in. He catches Viper. The carry from HLE is dead. Kalist with the kill. And Elder Drake as Delight now trying to retreat down the bottom side. Should be caught. I don't see any way for Renata to get away from this. Targamas is first to the scene, and with Kalist nearby, the execution isn't going to happen. Zeus coming in from behind, but the Gnar has no bar. Zeus needs to be careful about this one as he gets rooted up. Public execution right back on top of him. Zeus is dead. KC with a 5v4 in the enemy base. Viper loses half HP. The Elder no longer active. HLE have to defend for...
Kalist delivered an immaculate performance on the Jhin. He went 17-2, dealing over 60,000 damage. Yike's Ivern came in clutch, with the scaling and the jungle enchanter offering insane value to empower Kalist and Azir both. Never mind the root caller synergies I mentioned earlier. They needed 2 Elder Dragons in over 41 minutes, but KC successfully brought low the previously undefeated HLE. Could they do it a second time? Could they make it to the playoffs bracket by virtue of their own results and not a tiebreaker scenario? Unfortunately for the LEC representatives, it wasn't to be the case. Game 3 was the least close of the series. A Draven Rise comp from KC never got online, with Kalist consistently denied a cash-in, all the while HLE were happily picking up gold across the map on a much more reliably scaling comp. Zeus was once again on a new terror of his in the Vladimir, while Zeka was bequeathed a first pick Jace. A Wukong, Rel and Kai'Sa added in a lot of dive and a lot of CC that made Kalist's job so challenging from behind. Honestly, I feel like KC overforced too much to get the Draven on the board, with multiple failed look-in spot that cost a lot in the attempt. And sometimes it was just HLE being plain better.
And Delight working together, plenty of damage, and Viper will show up. Resources moving into the enemy jungle as Zeka gets discovered. Realm Warp ready to bring in some firepower from Vladdy. Zeka caught unawares out of position, trying to get away. Cannot do it. KC.
And the call from Yike was that,
Peanut jumping in on Kalist. He wanted to play out.
look at the Herald play mid, where Zeus survives the KC onslaught by getting in the Herald to avoid damage and then driving through the massed ranks of the blue wall. Another nod has to go to Zeka, who looked lethal on that Jace. Either way, HLE were not playing around this game, and they killed EU's hopes of further upsets by closing out the series.
Flying over the wall, here with the blast cone. KC gotta be careful. Vladdy jumps in, but he jumps right in on top of Peanut. Now Zeus hitting him with the tides of blood. Flash over the wall from Vladdy. Viper and Delight trying to reorganize their positioning here a little bit further. KC trying to make their entry as a four-man squad. In goes Kana, but he goes too far. Chemtech Drake over to Peanut. Zeus on top of Kaliz. He needs a transfusion and he's hounded. Target is gonna be your next target. Yike picks up Viper, but that's all they'll get. Further away. I feel like they could still maybe find a good fight. Getting this potential pick on the Peanut here could be the start of that. Nice flash away from the Arctic Assault, trying to use the second half of the Cyclone to get away. Peanut still in a ton of danger. Nice use of the ulti there from Kana. Peanut still alive somehow, but now the counter kills will come out from KC to HLE. It's another one picked up. It's 1-for-1 as HLE.
Meaning that KC had to commit.
Zeka goes in. He wants Kalist. He tries to get away there. A little bit more damage will do it. Delight over the wall in the Dragon Pit. Zeka here in the front line, got to be careful about that. The Otacon taking low, down about 2,000 HP. Target's going in with a two-man knockout, nicely done there. But into the back line goes Viper. They've already found another kill, as well as the Otacon for HLE. Now Vladdy's gonna die too. It's an absolute slaughterhouse. And HLE just playing like monsters, man. Zeus now, maybe in some trouble. 1v3. Vlad's pretty tough, but I don't know if he's that tough. Nice shutdown. And now HLE continuing their pressure, continuing their push. They want to try to go in, but they only find the CC on the Zeus and Delights into the back line. One to hard force to fight. Viper's ready to follow. Two already down on KC, and Vladdy's about to join them 6 feet deep. Another kill almost comes through. Yike barely walks away as they at least get a shutdown onto Zeka. Peanut and Zeus chasing after the remaining members of KC as HLE will leave Viper in the enemy base to destroy the inhibitor. Kana trying to rough up the minion wave so that Viper can't just walk in and keep
Look at the bot sides.
Peanut jumping in on Kaliz. Killer Instinct follows it. Draven's dead before you can blink your eyes. Targum is about to follow as Yike's your next target. The Sejuani trying to slide away, but Peanut takes him down. HLE have already killed off 2, and they're looking for even more. Delight finally gets traded back, but Vladdy's Seraph's Embrace is the only thing keeping him alive. The Realm Warp doesn't matter. He dies to the Hemo Plague. Targum is...
Karmine Corps now look nervously to the results of tomorrow. Assuming HLE beat TL in the second series as expected, the result of CFO versus TES becomes the decider for who makes it out of groups between Team Liquid and Karmine Corps. If CFO win, KC go through. If TES win, then it's Liquid who will progress. Don't you love a tiebreaker? Tell me which result you want to see in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Until tomorrow, see you around.